Breaking news. I'm kidding. I think we all knew this would happen sooner rather than later. Although I didn't think it would happen this soon. I've heard people say that at this point, the Red Bull second seat is more reliable than the Defense Against the Dark Arts position at Hogwarts. And I agree. At least the professors had an entire year. I know there's a lot of people that have already made videos about this topic. This is something that has been going around for the entire week already. But I just wanted to wait until Red Bull and the drivers made the official announcement, because it happens many times that there is an announcement made and it ends up not being official, or one of the parties involved changes their mind. So I just wanted to make 100% sure that this was going to happen. But alas, the rumors are true. Yuki Tsunoda will take Liam Lawson's seat at Red Bull, and Liam Lawson will be demoted back into vcarb, making this the shortest-lived second driver in the history of Red Bull. Only 2 races. And if I'm completely honest, I didn't think the switch was going to happen this fast. I know it sounds bad, but I thought that Doohan would be the first one to get kicked out. And I bet the alleged 6-race contract is looking pretty good right now. From a performance standpoint, it is very obvious why the switch was made. To say that Liam Lawson underperformed is an understatement. He wasn't able to make it past Q1 in any of the races, while Max made it in the top 4 in every qualifying, and he made it onto the podium twice. But he's only had 2 Grand Prix in tracks that he was completely unfamiliar with, and in one of the races, it rained a lot, to the point where almost half of the grid DNF'd. Now, I do think that he was put in the Red Bull seat prematurely. I think he should have stayed in vcarb longer before he got promoted, but at the same time, the change was already made. I think they took him away from that seat too quickly as well. The timing for the switch is also very significant. Yuki will have his debut race in Red Bull in his home race in Japan, and this will give the team probably a lot of good publicity and probably a very nice check from Honda. Allegedly, Honda offered Red Bull around 10 to 20 million last year to put Yuki in the seat. Red Bull refused to put Liam, and I guess they've changed their mind. What I do find a bit funny is that Japan had plastered posters of the Grand Prix all over the city, and now they might have to change them, as well as the Formula 1 intro. At this point, they should just record the Formula 1 intro with every driver in every suit, just in case. But I think that this situation is highlighting a bigger problem that Red Bull has that goes beyond Liam Lawson being slow or the car being terrible, and it is a lack of vision for their future. I think that Red Bull is about to go into potential crisis if they're not already in one, and everything is going to just implode. Now, for the past couple of years, Red Bull's strategy has been built around Max Verstappen, and it is very evident in how the car works, how the team is promoted, in everything, really. And you know, he's a generational talent. He is an incredible driver, and of course you want to take advantage of him. He has brought a lot of success to Red Bull, no doubt. But I think in doing so, they've forgotten that Formula 1 is a team sport with 2 drivers, and they haven't cultivated a stable environment for the second driver to grow and become better, leading to a revolving door of drivers. And if Max were to decide to leave the team, which seems very plausible now more than ever, especially if we consider the fact that he might have a clause in his contract that is based on how well he performs, the entire team is going to be completely in shambles. And the team has become increasingly desperate and impatient with its young drivers. I think that is a model that Red Bull should try to imitate right now, to build a solid team and not just rely on a superstar to show up out of nowhere. Going back to Red Bull's treatment of their young drivers, it is a complete mess. They have gone through almost their entire academy roster and give them just insane expectations. Albon, Pierre Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo, they were all incredible drivers, but as soon as they didn't meet the insane expectations that they had for them, they were just kicked out or demoted to vcarb, which is basically the same thing. And I think this has created a very toxic environment for Red Bull, where I don't think any of the young talent that is going to show up in the near future wants to go to that team, because they know they won't be given the time to develop. And I don't think any of the established drivers wants to go to Red Bull either, because of its reputation. Being a driver for Red Bull is a very unstable job, and I think a lot of drivers would prefer to go to a lesser performing team like Sauber or Haas and have a secure job for a couple of years than to be in a team where you could be kicked out into races. Because apparently Liam found out that he was being kicked out of Red Bull from social media, which, like him or not, it's a horrible way to find out. And I'm not really sure if the Red Bull leadership understands how the sport is supposed to work. I think they're treating this more like a football team where you have 11 players and you can switch two of them halftime if one of them is not performing, and then everything goes fine. But Formula One is a very demanding sport, both mentally and physically, and it takes getting used to, and it takes a lot of patience to be able to perform good. And coming back to Liam Lawson, as I said, I do think he was promoted prematurely. He didn't even complete a full season in the junior team. He didn't race in every single one of the tracks beforehand. And they put him in a situation where he has a lot of pressure behind him, first of all. And he has a car that is allegedly undrivable, according to a lot of drivers and reporters, including Max Verstappen himself. And they put him in that position and they expected him to what? He hasn't been given the opportunity to fail and to learn and to improve. I mean, even Max Verstappen was called Crash Stappen in the early days of his time at Toro Rosso. But he was given a year and 4 races to adapt to the team, adapt to the sport, to learn the tracks, and to understand the Formula One culture and the demand it has on you physically and mentally. Red Bull is so focused on the short-term solutions, which is just swapping drivers around, instead of changing the team dynamics and the team culture, which is what I think they should be doing. Because if they continue going on the path that they are right now, the entire team will implode, and Max Verstappen will be in another team backyard by then. He'll be at Mercedes or Aston Martin because it's not his problem. And you know, this all leaves me wondering what is going to happen if Yuki doesn't perform. Will they just put Hadjar in the car and put Yuki back in vcarb? Because I don't think there's many drivers that want to have the honor of driving a Red Bull anymore. And what will happen if Liam outperforms Yuki with the vcarb? Because I think that is a very plausible thing to happen. Liam didn't do terribly last year, I think. And I think the vcarb car is a lot better. Strategies are terrible, but the vcarb drivers have been doing a lot better than Liam has been doing. So I wouldn't be surprised if he outperforms Yuki now. So then what, was it all for nothing? I put in my predictions that there would be 2 driver swaps this year, and I am wondering if this counts as 1 or 2, because technically there's 2 drivers, but it's only 1 swap, so let me know in the comments. But I do still think that this is not the last driver swap we will see this season. Anyways, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down in the comments what you think about this swap. Did you expect it? Did you not? Do you think it's fair to Liam? Do you think Yuki will perform well or not? And what do you think Red Bull should do now, because their future doesn't seem very bright? As I said before, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.